Democrats are pushing a radical $3 trillion scheme that includes taxpayer bailouts for union-run pensions, money to illegal immigrants, which will do nothing to help this nation combat COVID-19. This is not a relief package. It's Speaker Pelosi's partisan 1,800-page socialist shopping list. We should defeat it. I yield back.
Time's expired. Gentlewoman yields. Gentleman from Oklahoma reserves. Gentlewoman from New York is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I'm very pleased to yield 1 minute to the dynamic, hard-working, committed gentlewoman from Connecticut, the distinguished chair of the Subcommittee on Labor, Health, Human Services, and Education, Ms. DeLauro.
Gentlewoman from Connecticut is recognized for 1 minute.
The HEROES Act is a critical $3 trillion rescue for our frontline workers, cities and states, our small businesses, and it creates the kind of modern-day safety net I have been fighting for with so many brave allies in and outside the U.S. Congress. Paid sick days, paid family and medical leave is now available to all workers, including those workers in warehouses, healthcare, grocery stores, pharmacies, and retail. The child tax credit is now available for all families, raised to $3,000 per child over 6 years old, and a higher benefit for younger children, cutting child poverty nearly in half. We raised the maximum food stamp benefit by 15%, bigger than in 2009, and we purged President Trump's $135 billion gift to real estate developers and hedge fund managers. I urge my colleagues, let us act boldly and let us act swiftly for this nation. I yield back.
Gentlewoman yields. Gentlewoman from New York reserves. Gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I yield 1 minute to my very good friend, the distinguished Republican ranking member of the Judiciary Committee, Mr. Jordan of Ohio.
Gentleman from Ohio is recognized for 1 minute.
I thank the gentleman for yielding. Mr. Speaker, in 1 week, the Democrats have shown us exactly what they want to do. In 1 week's time, May 8th, 1 week ago, 7 Democrats on the Coronavirus Select Committee send a letter to Universal Stainless and Alloy Products in Western Pennsylvania, and they say, give back your PPP money. Right, here's a letter. You have not returned these funds. 3 days later, May 11th, 4 of our colleagues, 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, send a letter to those 7 Democrats and say, hey, wait a minute. Universal Stainless followed the rules. They're entitled to their money. If they have to give it back, they will have to lay off steel workers. And today, this bill does what? This bill does what? It gives tax dollars to illegal immigrants. In 1 week's time, take money from steel workers, give it to illegal immigrants. That's the Democrat vision for their country. And if for no other reason, that's why we should vote against this bill. I yield back.
Gentleman yields. Gentleman from Oklahoma reserves. Gentlewoman from New York is recognized. Gentlewoman from New York is recognized.
How much? Mr. Speaker, I'm delighted to yield to my friend, the distinguished chair of the subcommittee that does so much good work here, Ms. Capter.
Gentleman from Ohio is recognized for 1 minute.
I'd like to thank Chair Lowy for that gracious set-aside and wish to say that the American people expect Congress to have their backs. Our economy needs help with historic levels of unemployment bearing down, and the HEROES Act will provide a bridge of support to save lives and livelihoods.